Hello, my name is Miranda McQueen. I am a paramedic here at Jackson County EMS in southeastern Kentucky. Um, I'm also in the EMC 400 class. This is our 5th week, so we're on Module 5. This week we've been tasked with interviewing 3 to 5 of our coworkers and asking them the following questions. What's something our agency is planning to do this year? And then what's something we're going to do in 3 years? And then the third question is something we're going to do in 5 years. Unfortunately, I've not been able to find anyone who will go on a live interview with me, so I had to do some phone interviews and do some interviews in person. I did find 3 coworkers to let me interview them. Unfortunately, though, they're not on video. I did have to do some on the phone because we have several people who are on vacation this week, and we've had some weddings here at the service. People's been in weddings, so they've been traveling for that. So had to go a roundabout way of getting my interviews, but I did get my interviews. So the first person I interviewed is Shelby Bryant. She is an EMT here at Jackson County EMS, and she actually went through the EMT class that we offer here. She was in her first EMT class actually. She's a good EMT. I actually work with her a lot. She's my partner a lot. So I asked her what was one thing that our service was going to do this year, and her response was that we were going to build an EMS building, hopefully within the next year. She did say that there was a grant that we've applied for. We're in the last steps of the grant. We've been at this point before with this grant, but was denied the last time. So hopefully this year it'll come through for us. So that's something we're planning to do this year. So then I asked her what any plans we had for 3 years out were, and her response was that in 3 years we are going to try to have 2 24-hour crews that are here at the station working. Right now our crews we have one 24-hour ALS crew, and then we have an additional 16-hour BLS crew that works from 8 in the morning until midnight. So from midnight till 8 the following morning we only have one crew. Sometimes it's a little dicey, but normally we're okay with that because our runs go down at night, so we don't have to go out as much. So that's what she said our 3-year thing was. So 5 years, asked her what we were going to do in 5 years. It took her a minute to answer, because she's only been here about a year and a half herself. So she said hopefully in 5 years, instead of having an ALS and BLS crew, we will have 2 ALS crews, which would help tremendously. It really would. But that was her responses to those. The next person I interviewed was Oscar McQueen. He was not able to be here in person because he had took off to do some family things with his children. But I asked him what we were planning to do this year as far as the service, and his response was also an EMS building if our grant comes through. It's a big thing right now here at the service. We really don't have the best building. It's an older building. It wasn't designed for EMS. We're just here because the county government lets us stay here. They're actually giving us a really good deal. They're letting us stay here, and we pay utilities, but it's a place for now, and it serves the purpose, but we would really like something of our own. So that was his 1-year response. In 3 years, he also said he would like to see an additional crew added to the service during the day to handle transfers. We have a nursing home here in the county, but very few doctor's offices. So don't have a hospital. We don't have any specialized care. All we have that nursing home, and we have family practitioners. But other than that, we don't have a lot of health care offices or anything in the county. So we get a lot of transfers of people who can't ride in cars that we have to take to doctor's appointments, take for medical procedures, that sort of thing. So he would like in 3 years to see us add an 8-hour BLS crew for transfers to help with that, because sometimes we are overtaxed and have a hard time meeting the demand. We do occasionally call another crew in, but if we had one here all the time, it would really help. And in 5 years, he sees a benefit package being offered to the full-time employees here. Right now, they're just not able to offer us a benefit package. Just because finances mostly, at one time the service was really struggling. And we've come out of that. We're actually doing pretty good now compared to where we were, but there's still a lot that we would like to do. So that's what he sees happening in 5 years. And if the next 5 years continues to see growth like the last 5 years have here, then I see that being a good possibility. The last person I interviewed was Jody Britton, who is our Chief Financial Officer here at Jackson County. And then this year, he, like the other two, said that he sees an EMS building in our future. He's the one that's doing the grant writing for us, so he knows a little more about it than what the rest of us do because he's directly involved in it. So he's thinking it's a real possibility. And if it is, that will be great. We would all be very excited. So that was his 1 year thing that we're going to do. 3 years, he would like to see us offering some benefits to employees. Maybe not a full benefit package, he said, but there's been some talk about maybe offering long-term and short-term disability, maybe some options for health care. Right now we don't have a retirement, but maybe 401k. Even if they can't match much, just having that option out there for us would be great. So that's his 3-year plan. Didn't go into great detail. I think he just didn't want to put that out there and then people be disappointed, but he would like to start seeing some benefits to employees. 5 years, his 5-year plan was to purchase additional ambulances and have 2 24-hour crews like I talked about earlier with some of the other people that said that. Right now we have 2 really good ambulances, 2 that are, we have to work on them some. So, it'd be great if we had the funds to buy some more new ambulances. We did get a grant a couple of years ago. We bought an ambulance. Worked out really good for us. We would love to see that some more. The only thing about being rural where we are is we have to have ambulances that can go in various terrains. The ambulance that we got before was a Ford, one of the vans, transit van. It's rear-wheel drive, which is fine for most places here in the county, but there are some places that it won't go. So that was his 5-year plan. The last person I interviewed was Craig Bowles, our director here at Jackson County. And talked to him while he's actually on vacation, so he couldn't be here either. He's actually in Myrtle Beach. Lucky him. But his thing for this year was an EMS building. Of course, we all have that on our mind, and we're all shooting for that. 3 years, it was 2 24-hour crews, and possibly another 8-hour crew Monday through Friday. So he has high goals. Hopefully, we can see that happen. And then 5 years, he would love for us to be able to get a grant to get all new ambulances. So, like I've talked about all that stuff before. And then, I talked to him about how we're going to make all this happen. And like everybody else, it's all money. So if we can do money, if we can get the money in here, get some grants, maybe get some increase in revenue, that'd be great. And that's our biggest challenge as well, is just the funds. So, I talked to all these over the phone, and if we can see all this happening, this will end up being a great place to work. It already is, but, these changes would be awesome. So thank you for watching.